Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling Victory Road 2021. Yes, man, this is a really good show, man. Really good show. Great wrestling matches. Now, if I were to pick which match of the night, which match was the match of the night, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which match was the match of the night. But I do have some favorite matches, man. That Fatal 5-Way, man. That Fatal 5-Way was one of the best matches. The X Division Championship match with Josh Alexander and Chris Sabin, and of course the Impact World Championship match with Ace Austin and Christian Cage was really good, man. And then not only that, man, the aftermath of the World Championship match, Josh Alexander, the X Division champion, came out at the end of the show. He got in Christian Cage's face, and so he said that I'm going with option C. I'm going with option C, and option C was for him to relinquish the X Division championship. So yeah, man. So he's gonna relinquish his championship for a world title match. So that's the first match announced for Bound for Glory, and Bound for Glory is coming up on October the 23rd, I believe it is, the 23rd. And yeah, man. And yeah, I just can't wait, man. I just can't wait for that Bound for Glory show. You have AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, and AAA, bro, all in the same building in Vegas, bro. So I cannot wait, man. Cannot wait for it. And so yeah, so basically this show was the build up to Bound for Glory, because Bound for Glory is the next pay-per-view, man, for Impact Wrestling. So yeah, man. So yeah, man. Really good show tonight, man. Really good show tonight. And so yeah, man. So yeah, this is the Victory Road 2021 review on the Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, if you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button is a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here every single week. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and Saturdays and Sundays are for pay-per-views, man, whether it's WWE pay-per-views, Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, or AEW pay-per-views. So I'm here. And yeah, man, and Tuesdays I'm going to have to find something to do on Tuesdays because NXT, I'm no longer watching this new NXT. But yeah, man, I digress, man. But tonight is not about NXT, it's about Victory Road. So yeah, so first off, man, we started off Victory Road with a triple threat match. And it was Steve Maclin versus TJP versus Petey Williams. And so yeah, man, so we had Williams and TJP. They went right after Steve Maclin, which is a smart move, man, because Steve Maclin is a big guy. He's a big threat in the match. So yeah, we had a double tope suicida to TJP and Steve Maclin from Petey Williams. And we had an Irish curse backbreaker to TJP from Maclin on the stage. And then Maclin, he took out Williams. And then Maclin took control of the match. And then Williams and TJP, they tried to take out Steve Maclin again. So that was their strategy, take out the big guy. And so we had a double shoulder tackles to TJP and Petey Williams while they were both hanging upside down in the corner. And so we had a German suplex to Maclin from Williams, followed up by a running knee. And then we had an over-the-top rope hurricanrana to Steve Maclin from Petey Williams. And then we had a springboard codebreaker to Maclin from Williams. And then TJP, he broke up the pin. And so TJP and Williams, they're going back and forth. And so we had a running knee. We had a running knee to Petey Williams from Steve Maclin. And then we had a tornado DDT to Maclin from TJP. Absolutely spiked this guy with that tornado DDT, man. And so, yeah, man. Beautiful tornado DDT. And so Williams and TJP, they double team Steve Maclin. And so we had a "This is awesome" chant. So, yeah, man, it was, man. And so, yeah, we had a sharpshooter to Maclin from Williams. So Williams had locked in a sharpshooter. And so TJP, he also locked in a hold. He locked in the submission hold, the octopus stretch on Petey Williams, while Petey Williams had the sharpshooter locked in on Steve Maclin. And so, yeah, so Steve Maclin, he ended up, so Maclin, he broke up he had fought out a sharpshooter, which forced Petey Williams to release the hold. And so, yeah, man, so we had a series of boot washes, or a series of running boots in a corner to Williams and Maclin. And so we had a detonation kick. We had a detonation kick to Maclin from TJP. And then Williams, he had broke up the pin. So that was a close one right there, man. If Williams was not there, man, that would have been it. That would have been the end of the match. And then we had a Canadian Destroyer to TJP from Petey Williams. And then Steve Maclin hit his finishing move, the Mayhem for All to Williams. And so instead of Steve Maclin pinning Petey Williams, he pinned TJP. And earlier, Petey Williams hit TJP with the Canadian Destroyer. And yeah, so Steve Maclin, he had stole Petey Williams his pinfall. He stole his pinfall. So yeah, man. So Steve Maclin wins the match. And so yeah, man. And that was it, man. That was it. Good match to start off the show. I love the strategy with Williams and TJP, trying to take out the big guy, getting rid of the bigger threat in the match so you can focus on yourselves. But yeah, man. And Maclin won, man. Maclin won, and rightfully so. Hopefully Maclin can go on to something else, because he's been going after TJP and Petey Williams the entire time, mainly Petey Williams. So yeah, man, it's time for Steve Maclin to move on. And plus, he already beat him the first time. So yeah, man, he won. So yeah, man. And then he said he wanted to go after the X Division Championship too. So why not continue to go through the rankings? He said he was gonna go after the X Division Championship, but his first target was Petey Williams, and so he went through Petey Williams. He beat Petey Williams that first time he fought, and now he won this triple threat match. So yeah, time to move on to the next step, man. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the five-way match, the fatal five-way match, and it was Black Taurus representing Decay versus John Skyler versus Jake something versus the Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. So yeah, man, this is a really good match, man. And so yeah, at the start of this match, man, like when this match came about, I was like, man, at first I didn't even know this match was on the show. Same thing with the triple threat match. I didn't even know the triple threat match was on the show. I didn't know this fatal five-way was on the show. But this match, didn't even know the match was on the show. And so when I was looking at it, I was like, man, what does the winner get? What does the winner in the match get? And so they kind of explained it on commentary. They said that, the winner of this match could easily be talked about getting the X Division Championship match, or it could be next in line for the X Division Championship match. So I'm guessing that's it, but it wasn't confirmed. It wasn't a number one contenders match, but yeah, man. So yeah, so first off, man, all these guys, they went right after each other, and then we had a snap power slam to Laredo from Taurus. And so Jake, he took out Black Taurus, Miguel, and John Skyler with a triple cross body. And then we had that was something chant to Jake, so that was really funny, man. And so Miguel and Laredo, they used each other's speed against each other. And so we had a double foot stomp to Laredo Kid from Trey Miguel. And we had a springboard spear to Trey from Skyler. And then we had a pop-up Samoan drop to Skyler from Black Taurus. So that was really nice. And double super kicks to Jake from Laredo and Trey. And so yeah, man, we had a Meteora DDT combo. So we had a Meteora to Jake from Trey Miguel, and yeah, which caused Jake to hit a DDT on Laredo Kid. So that was nice, man, nice. And so yeah, man, at the same time, dude, all that stuff happened at the same time. And so yeah, man, Jake he had chokeslam Laredo Kid on top of Trey Miguel. And so we had a spear to Jake from Taurus, and then Taurus had took out everybody. And so yeah, Taurus was all over the place, man. And so we had a power slam to Skyler into Laredo Kid in the corner. So he hit him with a power slam right on top of Laredo Kid. And so we had a double springboard spear to the Black Taurus and Trey Miguel from John Skyler. And so we had a tope con hero to Jake from Trey, which is a nice one too. And so yeah, man, we had a tope corkscrew. We had a tope suicida mixed with a corkscrew to Trey and Jake from Black Taurus. And so we had a top rope, it looked like a top rope Spanish fly, turned into a Thez press to John Skyler from Laredo Kid to win the match. So the Laredo Kid wins the match. Yeah, man. So potentially the number one contender for the X Division Championship, Laredo Kid. And yeah, man, just like what I said, man, this is a great match, awesome match. And so yeah, man, so yeah, we could be getting Laredo Kid versus Josh Alexander before he relinquishes his title, or if he haven't done it already, man. So yeah, man, so that was it with that, man. So yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb and Madison Rayne in her corner versus Taylor Wilde with Jordynne Grace and Rachael Ellering in her corner. And so yeah, man, so yeah, we had a knee strike to Dashwood. And so Kaleb, he had got involved in the match. He had grabbed that Wilde's foot. And so Dashwood, she took advantage of that distraction. She took advantage off of the distraction. And so she took control of the match. And so Madison Rayne, she also got involved in the match behind the referee's back. And so, yeah, Wilde, she started fighting back. And then Kaleb distracted the referee. So this is his second interference. And so, yeah. So Rachael Ellering and Jordynne Grace tried to take him out. And then we had Madison Rayne try to attack Taylor Wilde right behind the referee's back, but this time the referee saw it, and so referee had kicked Madison Rayne from ringside. And so Jordynne Grace and Rachael Ellering, they got into it with Madison Rayne. I think Jordynne Grace had shoved her to the ground. Jordynne Grace had shoved Madison Rayne to the ground, and so yeah, the referee saw it, and so referee ejected everybody. Everybody that was ringside, he just ejected everybody. And so yeah, so now we have a fair one-on-one fight. And so yeah, so both of these ladies, they were trading pinfalls. And so both of these ladies, they were going back and forth with strikes. And so we had a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Dashwood. And we had a taste of Tenille to Taylor Wilde, and she kicks out. And so we had a neck breaker to Wilde on a rope. And to end the match, man, we had a German suplex into a bridge to Dashwood to win the match. So Taylor Wilde wins the match. And that was it, man. The match was good, man. It was good, but I would have done without the interferences and all that stuff. The interferences and all that stuff ringside. It just takes away from the match, man. It really does. And yeah, man. I say this time and time again, man. Hopefully this feud is over, man. I don't want to see any more of this. Like it's like the same every time she stepped foot inside the ring. Taylor Wilde, it could be Taylor Wilde, Rachael Ellering, Jordynne Grace. Every time they step foot inside the ring, they always feuding with Tenille Dashwood and Kaleb. And yeah, and that's it. They don't have nobody else in the women's division. But yeah, man. Hopefully the feud is over, man. Get them somewhere. Like have them go after somebody else, man. Yeah, that's my thing. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She was backstage. She interviews Sami Callihan, a draw. Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. And so yeah, so Gia Miller, she had asked what led to their partnership and all that stuff. And so yeah, Edwards, Callihan, he said that they will beat Moose and W. Morrissey tonight. And so yeah, and so Edwards, he had said that he doesn't want to team with Sami Callihan, but he has to for the greater good. And so Callihan, he has said that he and Eddie Edwards will show Moose and W. Morrissey, while they're the gatekeepers of Impact Wrestling, and while they're the soul of Impact Wrestling. And so Alicia Edwards, she had came in. She came in and interrupted. And so Alicia, she had said that no, well, this is right after Sami Callihan had left. So right after Sami Callihan had left, Alicia Edwards had came in and she told Eddie Edwards that she doesn't trust Sami Callihan. And so Eddie, he had said, I don't trust him either, but I have to team up with this guy because I have to for the greater good. And so yeah, man. So Eddie, so Alicia Edwards, she had said that I'm gonna join you guys ringside. I'm gonna join you guys ringside. And so that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the no disqualification match. We got a no disqualification match, and it was Rohit Raju with Shera in his corner versus Mack Cardona. Always ready, Mack Cardona. And so yeah, man. So Cardona, when Rohit Raju was making his entrance, we had Mack Cardona. He came from behind. He didn't even make his entrance. He came from behind and he attacked Rohit Raju and Shera at the same time. So I don't know if that was a smart move or not, man. Yeah, it wasn't a smart move. It was not a smart move. And so yeah, so Raju and Shera, they ganged up on Cardona. And so yeah, they brought him into the ring. They double teamed him, and then the bell had rung. And so Cardona, he tried fighting back. And so Raju, he had slammed Cardona on the ground outside the ring. And so we had a Russian leg sweep to Raju into the guardrail. So yeah, these guys are fighting outside the ring. And so Raju, he had a chair in his hand, and so he rammed Cardona's throat into the chair. And so Raju, he went right after Cardona's throat. And so we had a corner running strikes to Cardona from Raju. And so we had a cannonball to Cardona on a chair in a corner. And so at that point, Cardona, he was fighting back. And so we had a slingshot into a steel chair to Raju. So yeah, his face hit that steel chair. And so yeah, both of these guys, they were going back and forth for strikes and all that stuff. And we had a code breaker to Raju. And then we had a "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. And so yeah, we had a broski boot to Raju on a chair. And he kicks out. I think he called it the reboot. I don't think he calls it the broski boot anymore. I think it's called the reboot. So he hit the reboot on Raju on a chair. And so Cardona, he had brought out a trash can at one point. And so Cardona, he had a TKO. He had a TKO on the trash can. So Raju went through the trash can. And so, yeah, the trash can is bent. And so he went for the cover and he kicked out. And so at that point, I was like, man, that looked like that would have been it. That looked like that would have been it right there. And then we had a jumping flatliner to Cardona and he kicks out. And so, yeah, we had a double foot stomp to Cardona on a steel chair. On two steel chairs. And so Raju, he had hit Cardona with the chair. And so at that point, we had a low blow from Cardona. No disqualifications. So yeah, you can hit a low blow. And so yeah, man. So we had the radio silence. So Cardona hit his finishing move, the radio silence to Raju. But Shera had broke up the pin and is legal. Once again, it's legal because it's a no disqualification. And so yeah, man. And then Cardona, he had a radio silence to Shera outside of the ring. And then we had a drive-by. We had a drive-by to Cardona. And then at that point, Raju, he tried to Pillmanize Cardona's neck, his head and neck area. But Chelsea Green, she had came out. Chelsea Green had came out and saved her fiance. And so, yeah, man. And she took out Raju. And so to end the match, man, we had a radio silence to Raju to win the match. So always ready, Matt Cardona wins the match. And that was it, man. And so, yeah, man, good match. But I'm going to say the same thing like I said the last match. Hopefully this feud is over, man. Send Cardona after something, man. Send him after the X Division Championship, man. Or send him after the World Championship. Send him after something, man. Send him after a title. That's what I would do, man. But yeah, man. I think he beaten Raju already, didn't he? I think he beaten him already. But yeah, man. Send this guy after somebody else, man. Send him after a title. It'll be better off for him if you just send him after a title. But yeah, he's gotten enough wins. He gotten enough wins that he can go after the X Division title. But yeah, that's what I would do, man. That's what I would do. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Bullet Club. We had Chris Bay and Hikuleo of the Bullet Club versus Finjuice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson. So yeah, man. So yeah, first off, man, Juice Robinson, he came out, he was limping to the ring because his leg had got Pillmanized by Chris Bay and Hikuleo. And so yeah, so Bay he started mocking Juice, mocking his injury and all that stuff with the limping and all that. And so Juice he had to control in the match. So yeah, Juice ended up fighting back and he kept giving in quick tags in and out. And so they took out Chris Bay. And so he had to run in a European uppercut to Bay from Finley. And then yeah, and so Bay he had went right after Juice's bad leg. He went right after his bad leg. And so Hikuleo he went right after Juice's leg, his bad leg. And so yeah, we had a hot tag to Finley. He took out Bay. And then Hikuleo he went for a choke slam, but Finley he fought out of it. And so we had a snap power slam to Finley from Hikuleo, which was picture perfect, man. Really nice move. It like the speed of the power slam, man, and the impact off of that power slam was really awesome, man. Really cool. And so yeah, man, we had a vertical delayed suplex to Finley from Hikuleo, and then Finley he tried fighting back, and then we had corner clotheslines to Bay from Juice. And so yeah, Juice he had hit his jabs, his signature jabs to Chris Bay, and then he tried to go for that feint, that left hand from God, but he faked it, and he hit a DDT instead. And so Bay had kicked out. And so yeah, so Juice he started hitting his jabs on Hikuleo, and then Bay he had hit Juice in the bad ankle. So yeah, Chris Bay he was outside the ring. He had grabbed a chair, and he had hit Juice in a bad leg with a steel chair behind the referee's back. And so yeah, to end the match, man, we had a fireman's carry driver. Yeah, fireman's carry Mickey driver it looked like to Juice Robinson from Hikuleo to win the match. So Chris Bay and Hikuleo of the Bullet Club wins the match, and that was it, man. Good match, man. Great showing from Hikuleo, man. Very impressive, man. And so yeah, man. So we might get another rematch. We might get a rematch with these guys because they cheated to win the match. So we might get a rematch with these guys. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Moose and W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. A draw, Sami Callihan with Alicia Edwards in their corner. And so yeah, man. So Callihan and Edwards they went right after Moose and W. Morrissey. And so we had double tope suicidas from Edwards and Callihan. And then we had chops to Morrissey and Moose from Callihan and Edwards. And so yeah, we had a double choke slams to Edwards and Callihan from Morrissey. And so Morrissey he big boots. He hit a big boot on Eddie Edwards to knock him off the top rope of the ring onto the floor. And so yeah, that's at that point the heels they took control of the match. And then Moose he had pulled that Eddie Edwards braid, and he started tying it to the rope and all that stuff, or holding on to it on the rope. And so yeah, we had a Blue Thunder bomb to W. Morrissey from Edwards, man. Really impressive. W. Morrissey is a big dude. And so yeah, man, we had a hot tag to Callihan. He took out Moose and Morrissey by himself. And so we had a Death Valley driver to Moose from Callihan. And then Moose he had hit one of his signature moves to go to hell. He had to go to hell on Callihan. And so he kicked out. So at that point I thought that was it. He almost had him. And so yeah, we had a Tiger driver to Moose from Edwards. And then Morrissey broke up the pin. And so we had a superplex to Edwards from Moose. Really nice, man. I love the superplex. And so we had a super kick to Moose from Callihan. And then we had a super kick into a brain buster to Moose from Callihan and Edwards. So that was a combo move, tag team move. And so yeah, man, we had a big boot. We had a big boot to Callihan from Morrissey, and which came out of nowhere, man. Came out of nowhere. And so Moose he had grabbed the kendo stick at that point. And so yeah, man. And then we had Eddie Edwards. He had a power driver, man. A power driver on Moose, which was really nice, man. Spiked him with that power driver. And so, yeah, so he took a page out of Callihan's book. And so Morrissey, he had grabbed that Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards' wife. So he had grabbed that at his wife. And so he just started carrying her and all that stuff. And so, yeah, Moose, he had speared Edwards. Moose did. And so Edwards, he had rolled out of the ring. And so Morrissey, he had brought Alicia into the ring. And so yeah, they were about to beat her up, man. They really did. So we had Morrissey, he had a last ride powerbomb, Undertaker style. And so yeah, man. So at that point, Alicia, she was not moving, dude. She was not moving. And so yeah, referees they came out to try to help Alicia Edwards, but Eddie Edwards he shoved the referees out of the way, and so he took his wife instead. So he carried his wife to the back, leaving Sami Callihan on his own. So Sami Callihan, he tried fighting back on his own, but the numbers had caught up to him. And so yeah, to end the match, man, we had a spear. We had a spear from Moose to Callihan to win the match. So Moose and W. Morrissey wins the match, and rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. There was no way. There was no way in hell, man, that W. Morrissey or Moose was getting pinned by Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. There was no way these guys was getting pinned. So that's why Moose and W. Morrissey won that match, because they can't afford to lose. They can't afford to get pinned. So yeah, man. So that was it. So the right team did win this match. The right team won this match. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that, man. And what's gonna happen with Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards? They might get into it because Eddie Edwards had left his partner. He had left him out on his own to fight for himself, defend off for himself. But yeah, man. So yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship match, and it was Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans versus Decay, who are the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. That's Rosemary and Havoc. So yeah, man, Decay, they went right after Steelz and Evans. They were pissed off that Evans and Steelz had stole their titles, and so Havoc, she had called out Evans to tag in, and so Havoc and Evans, they went right back and forth. They went back and forth with strikes and all that, and so Decay had took control of the match at that point, and then still she had sent Rosemary into the ring post, and so the heels had took control of the match at that point. And so we had a PK kick to Rosemary from Steelz, and then we had strikes to Rosemary from Steelz to fire her up. And so yeah, it did ended up firing her up. And so we had a crossbody to Steelz from Rosemary, hot tag to Havoc. She took out Evans, and then we had a running boot to Evans in the corner, and then a big boot to Havoc from Evans, and then we had a sky high to Tasha Steelz from Havoc. And so D'Lo, of course, on commentary, he had popped for that move because that's D'Lo Brown finishing move. The sky high was his finishing move, so that's why he popped. He marked out. So yeah, man. So Evans, she had clothesline Rosemary outside the ring, and yeah, man, it was a nasty landing from Rosemary. It like the back of her head, dude. The back of her head had hit the ground, and you heard a splat. That's all you heard was a splat. And so referee had came out. Well, the referee went to go check on her right away, dude. Referee went to go check on her right away. And so yeah, man. So she did ended up finishing the match. So yeah, so Rosemary, she had green mist. She had spit the green mist in Evans' face. And so yeah, if the referee would have saw it, that would have been a disqualification, but the referee didn't see it. And so yeah, man. So Havoc, she had threw Tasha Steelz on top of Savannah Evans outside the ring. And so to end the match, man, we had a tombstone power driver to Steelz from Havoc to win the match. So Decay wins the match and are still the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. So yeah, man. So that was it with that. And our first championship match of the night. And yeah, man. And yeah, and they retain the titles, man. Retain the titles. Now with this, with this match, man, when I was making my predictions before they even had a tag team title match, I was predicting Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans to win the tag team titles. I was predicting them to win the titles, but right after they stole the tag team titles, I was like, man, no, they're not gonna win the titles. They stole it, which means they're not gonna win the titles. So that's why Savannah Evans and Tasha Steelz did not win the match. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with that. Good back and forth. And yeah, man. Who are next? That like there's really nobody in that tag team division that could step up. That can vie to the titles. The only people I can think about is Su Yung and Kimberly, so they might be next in line. They might be next in line for those tag team titles, and I think they might end up winning the titles. Su Yung and Kimberly. But yeah, man. So I'm guessing that's the next challengers. Those are the next challengers, Su Yung and Kimberly. But yeah, man. And yeah, that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Ace Austin with Madman Fulton there backstage, and they were talking about the main event, their World Championship match. And Austin, he started talking about Cage being a legend, and building up Impact. And so Austin, he had said that he's the future. He's the future of professional wrestling. And so Austin, he had said that he had to jump through hoops to get to where he is. And so Austin, he has said that he will become the youngest Impact World Champion of all time in history. And so yeah, so of course that was the main event, Ace Austin versus Christian Cage for the Impact World title. And so right after that, man, we had the Impact World Tag Team Championship match, and it was Willie Mack and Rich Swann versus the Good Brothers, who are the Impact World Tag Team Champions. That's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. So yeah, man. So yeah, Willie Mack, man, he had a flying shoulder tackle to Gallows, and so we had a PK kick to Anderson from Rich Swann, and then Anderson went right after Mack's eyes. And so we had a double drop kick to Gallows, and then Anderson started biting at Swann's face. And so we had a roundhouse kick to Swann from Gallows. And so at that point, the heels, they took control of the match. And so we had a hot tag to Mack. He took out the Good Brothers by himself. And so, yeah, Mack, he had hit a move. I think it looked like a reverse sling blade of some sorts to Anderson. And then Mack, at one point, he went for a top rope diving move, but he missed, and he landed on his feet. But I think he tweaked his knee or something like that. And so, yeah, and then Anderson, he had capitalized. He had a spine buster to Mack, and so Mack had kicked out. And so, yeah, we had cutters. We had cutters from Swann and Anderson. And so we had a super kick to Mack from Gallows, and then we had a power bomb to Swann on a ring apron from Gallows. So yeah, that looked like it was nasty, man. Looked really painful. And so Gallows, he had grabbed that Mack's foot while Mack was going inside the ring. And so yeah, and in the end of the match, man, we had a gun stun. We had a gun stun to Mack from Anderson to win the match, or not after that, not to win the match, but we had the Magic Killer. So the gun stun was the setup to the Magic Killer. And so to end the match, we had a Magic Killer to Willie Mack to win the match. So the Good Brothers won the match and are still the Impact World Tag Team Champions. So yeah, man, that was it, man. Great match, great back and forth, and yeah, man, the right team won. The right team won. There was no way that the Good Brothers were gonna lose because you had the Elite. They're on AEW Dynamite with Kenny Omega and the Bucks and Adam Cole, and Omega have all the like mostly everybody in that group have all the gold, and so they couldn't afford to lose their gold. They couldn't afford to lose their gold, so that's why they won. That's why they won the match. But yeah, who are next for the Good Brothers for those tag team titles? I don't know. I really don't know. They now in Impact they really don't have that many tag teams. They really don't. They really don't have that many tag teams. All they have is Violent by Design, Willie Mack and Rich Swann. I guess you could say they're legit. They're not a legit tag team. They're friends, but they're not a legit tag team. Who else? I said Violent by Design, the Good Brothers. Who else you had? You used to have some more tag teams. Once upon a time, you had the North. Once upon a time, you had the North. You had Triple XL. Triple XL were nothing but jobbers. But yeah, man, this is what I would do, man. I'll send some tag teams from AEW that's not being used and send them down to Impact to vie after those titles. That's what I would do. That's what I would do, man. I guess to spicing up that tag team division, man, make it more competitive. Because in the tag team division, they don't have no competition in Impact Wrestling in the tag team division. So that's why I'll send some AEW tag teams to Impact because AEW, man, they are drowning. They are drowning with tag teams, man. They have a lot of tag teams in AEW. And the tag teams that are not being used can go to Impact Wrestling. I could see the Acclaim. I can see the Acclaim going after those titles. Send the Acclaim over there. You can send Private Party. You can send Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. You can even send the FTR guys down here, man. You can send FTR to Impact Wrestling and vie after those Impact Tag Team titles. The Dark Order, all these other teams. You could send Top Flight. Who else, man? Who else? Mainly anybody down there, man. The Best Friends. You could send them down there too, man. But yeah, man, I would definitely send some AEW tag teams to Impact to get those tag team titles. Or vie to the tag team titles because they don't have no tag teams in Impact. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the X Division Championship match. So yeah, man. So we had Chris Sabin. We had Chris Sabin versus Josh Alexander, who is the X Division champion. And so yeah, man, this is really good, man. Probably one of my best matches on the show. And so yeah, so Sabin, he started using his speed against Alexander, and then the crowd is split. Half of the crowd is cheering for Sabin, and the other half is cheering for Alexander, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And so yeah, we had a PK kick to Alexander, followed up by a cannonball senton off of the ring apron. And so we had a crossbody to Saban's back to knock Saban out of the ring. And so we had an over the top rope dive on Alexander outside of the ring. And so yeah, we had a "This is awesome" chant. Oh yes, yes indeed it was, man. And so we had a DDT to Alexander, just the old school DDT, and Alexander kicked out of it. And so yeah, both of these guys, they were going back and forth, and then we had a flapjack to Saban midway when he was going for a move. And so Alexander, he had locked in an ankle lock, and Saban, he fought out of it. And so both of these guys, they were fighting outside the ring. And so we had a gut wrench suplex to Saban. And so the crowd is split again. And so then we had a "both these guys" chant. And so we had a fireman's carry senton to Saban. And then Alexander, he went for a moonsault, but he missed. And so we had a diving drop kick to Alexander's back. And so we had a draping and twisting neck breaker to Alexander on the floor. And so we had a powerbomb into a backbreaker from Josh Alexander. And so we had a jackknife cover to Alexander, and he kicks out. So yeah, so Saban, he had locked in the label lock. He had locked in the label lock, or the yes lock, whatever you want to call it. Very, very Daniel Bryan-esque, man, is Chris Saban. He remind me so much of a Daniel Bryan. I would love to see a match between Chris Saban and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. Yeah, definitely would love to see a Saban versus Bryan Danielson match, man. Definitely, man. We do have this Forbidden Door storyline, so I could see Saban show up in AEW, or I could see a Bryan Danielson showing up in Impact. But yeah, man. So yeah, he locked in the label lock, or the yes lock, and he turned it into a pinfall. And then Josh Alexander kicked out. And so yeah, man. And then we had a "fight forever" chant. And so we had 2 German suplexes to Chris Saban. And so we had a hammerlock to Alexander, and then we had an air raid crash to Saban. And then we had an ankle lock to Saban, and he turned it into a cover, and then Alexander kicked out. And so Alexander had locked in the ankle lock again. And so we had a super kick to Alexander to knock Alexander's headgear off. So right after he super kicked him, man, his headgear flew off. It flew off, and so I think it pissed him off even more. And so in the match, man, we had Josh Alexander, man. He hit that C4 spike on Saban, man. And he absolutely spiked this dude. Spiked this dude right on top of his head, man. Like, when I say he literally spiked him, he literally spiked him. And so yeah, so Josh Alexander, he won the match, and is still the X Division champion. And so right after the match, Chris Saban and Josh Alexander, they shook hands. And then Chris Saban, he had whispered something in Josh Alexander's ears. What is it that he whispered? I don't know. But yeah, man, it was a really great match, man. Really great match. And really, like, great back and forth, man. Great back and forth between these guys, man. Both are great wrestlers, man. Josh Alexander is continuing to look dominant as the X Division champion. And he's done a great job, pretty damn good job as X Division champion. And yeah, man. And so yeah, at the time, man, before he made his announcement about the, option C and all that stuff, at first I was thinking, man, we might see a Laredo Kid. We might see a Laredo Kid versus Josh Alexander. Might see that match. But man, I don't think we're gonna get the match. Maybe we will get the match before he relinquishes the title, but I don't think we might. I don't think we are gonna get the match. I really don't. But at the time, I was thinking that he will get the title match with Josh Alexander for the X Division title. But yeah, man. Yep. Yeah, that was it, man. That was it with that. So yeah, man. So Josh Alexander is still the X Division champion. And yeah, man. Who's next, man? Who's next for the X Division title, man? And right after Laredo Kid. So yeah, man. So that was it, man. And so right after that, man, we had the main event, and it was for the Impact World Championship. And so yeah, man, and it was Ace Austin, the Inevitable. Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner versus Christian Cage, who is the Impact World Champion. So yeah, man, we had chops to Austin. We had a flapjack to Austin. And then Austin, he had sent Cage out of the ring. And so Austin, he tried to give an over the top rope move, but Christian Cage had caught him with a baseball drop kick, and he kicked him right in his face. And so yeah, man. And then Fulton, Fulton, he was outside of the ring. He had gotten Cage's face, and so Austin, he had took advantage of the distraction, off of the distraction. And so at that point, Austin, he had took control of the match. We had a roundhouse kick to Cage, and he kicks out. And so Ace Austin, he had pulled out his ace card, and he cut Christian Cage between the fingers with the ace card. And so Cage started fighting back, and then We had a back elbow to Cage to knock him out of the ring. And so yeah, man, Fulton, he tried to get involved again, but the referee had saw it, and the referee had kicked Fulton out. And so yeah, so the crowd started singing the Hey Hey Goodbye, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey 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 goodbye to Madman Fulton. And so yeah, so we had a tornado DDT to Austin, and he kicks out. And so we had a "This is awesome" chant. Yes, yes it was, man. And so yeah, we had a diving European uppercut to Austin. And so yeah, both of these guys, they were going back and forth. We had a reverse DDT to Austin, and then we had a springboard Enziguri to Cage for a damn near fall, man. It like referee was this close. His hand was this close to hitting that 3, man. Hitting that mat for that 3. And so yeah, and then yeah, Cage, he had hit a neck breaker to Austin on a rope. And so Cage, he went for a frog splash, but he missed. And then Cage, he had speared Austin, and then Austin kicks out of the spear. And so we had a "This is awesome" chant. And so Austin, he went right after Cage's eyes. And so Fulton, he had came out right after he was ejected from ringside. He had came back out, and he got involved in the match behind the referee's back, so the referee did not see it. And so yeah, man, we had a top rope moonsault. It looked like a top rope moonsault corkscrew to Cage, and he kicked out. And so to end the match, man, we had Christian Cage. He had his finishing move, the kill switch, to Austin and win the match. So Christian Cage wins the match and is still the Impact World Champion. And so yeah, man. So right after the match, man. So right after the match, we had Josh Alexander, the X Division champion. Josh Alexander, he came out and he grabbed the microphone. He got in Cage's face and he said that Christian Cage, Bound for Glory, I'm going with option C. And for you guys that don't know what option C is for the X Division Championship. Whoever is the X Division champion, if you want a world title match, man, you could choose option C. And option C is giving up your championship, giving up your X Division Championship for a world title match. So yeah, you can do that as X Division champion. So Josh Alexander chose option 3, and it's gonna be at Bound for Glory. So Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander for the X Division, not for the X Division Championship, for the Impact World Championship at Bound for Glory on October the 23rd. On October 23rd, so that's Saturday. So October 23rd at Bound for Glory. So that's really the first match announced, man. It's the first match announced from either side, man. First match announced from Impact Wrestling for Bound for Glory. And yeah, man, that should be really good, man. It should be really good. Who else is gonna be on that Bound for Glory show? I really want to know, man. Punk for sure is gonna be on that show. Adam Cole for sure is gonna be on it. Kenny Omega for sure is gonna be on that show. From the guys from New Japan, I can see Okada on that show. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Will Ospreay, I can see him on that show too. And yeah, man. Yeah, from Impact Wrestling, of course, Cage and Josh Alexander. And yeah, man. I just can't wait, man. I cannot wait for Bound for Glory, man. Cannot wait for Bound for Glory. Cannot wait, man. But yeah, man. As far as the match, really great match. The near falls, man, were really good. At points, I thought Austin was gonna win, but reality, I knew that Christian Cage was gonna retain. I knew Christian Cage was gonna retain. But yeah, with the near falls, man, it felt like Austin was gonna win this match. That he almost had him. But yeah, man. And yeah. But yeah, Cage for sure. Cage for sure is gonna win. Cage for sure is gonna retain that title because, Cage is in AEW. Cage is in AEW and he's the Impact World Champion. And yeah, he needs to like if he's gonna show up on AEW Dynamite, he has to have that Impact World Championship. If you want to give Impact Wrestling more shine as an AEW star, you could give Impact Wrestling more shine by showing up with the title, showing up on Dynamite with the title. And yeah, man, that's the thing. We still haven't gotten more Impact stars showing up on Dynamite in this Forbidden Door storyline. We just haven't yet. We just haven't yet. The only people that we have saw on Impact Wrestling that showed up on Dynamite was Don Callis and the Good Brothers, and that's it. Don Callis and the Good Brothers. Don Callis and the Good Brothers, and nobody else. Nobody else from Impact Wrestling showed up on Dynamite. But yeah, I would love to see more people from Impact show up on Dynamite, like a Josh Alexander, like a TJP, like a Chris Sabin, like a Moose, like a Sami Callihan, like a Eddie Edwards, like a Violent by Design. You know, TJP. I said him already. TJP. And yeah, man, and everybody else, man, that's on the top of the game. Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo, I would love to see her on AEW Dynamite. But yeah, man. Yes. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with the show, man. That was it with Victory Road. Really good show, man. Great night for wrestling, man. Great wrestling matches on the show. And like I said, man, I love that Fatal 5-Way, man. And that X Division title match and the World Championship match. And yeah, man. And yeah, I just can't wait, man. I just can't wait for Bound for Glory, man. We just have another month for Bound for Glory, and I cannot wait for that Super Show, man. AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, Pro Wrestling, and AAA. I cannot wait, man. Cannot wait. But yeah, man. That was it, man. That was it with Impact Wrestling Victory Road 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button is a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man. And if you missed my Go Home show, you missed the Go Home show for Impact Wrestling before Victory Road, the video's gonna be right up here. All right, yeah, the video's gonna be right up here. The Impact Wrestling review plus the Victory Road predictions is gonna be in that same video, and the link to that video will be down below in the description. So yeah, man, and yeah, man, I'll see you guys next week, man. I'll see you guys next week. We don't have anything on Sunday, and yeah, man, Monday, of course, Monday Night Raw. Don't do Monday Night Raw. Tuesdays no longer NXT. I'm gonna try to do something on Tuesday. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna try to do something on Tuesday. But yeah, man. So that was it, man. I'll see you guys later, man. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you. And share this video, man. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, man. As always, thank you for the support. And yeah, man. And this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.